Master of beasts, wanderer of the wilds, and expert of ranged weaponry. Hunters are the iconic marksmen of the wilderness and live for the hunt. The beasts obey only one, the hunter, using their animal companion as an extension of themselves and traps to cause damage or keep an enemy at bay. Hunters excel in Wrath of the Lich King as a damage-dealing class. Hunters underwent many changes, including many completely reworked pet abilities and extensive changes to each of the talent trees, especially the survival tree. The survival tree focuses mainly on improving the hunter's survivability in combat, especially PvP, increasing stamina, reducing movement speed slows, and including many powerful new shots. When it comes to marksmanship, this specialization focuses more on increasing raw damage, but also has some new PvP additions in Wrath. And last, Beast Mastery focuses on improving the hunter's pets, now allowing new beasts into the fold. But not only were talents changed, hunters received many new baseline spells, regardless of talent specialization, such as Freezing Arrow. Fire a freezing arrow that places a freezing trap at the target location, freezing the first enemy that approaches, preventing all action for up to 20 seconds. Any damage caused will break the ice. The trap will last for 30 seconds, and only one trap can be active at a time. There's also aspect of the Dragon Hawk. The hunter takes on the aspects of a Dragon Hawk, increasing ranged attack power by 230 and chance to dodge by 18%. Only one aspect can be active at a time. Very, very strong. There's also Kill Shot. You attempt to finish the wounded target off, firing a long-ranged attack, dealing 200% weapon damage plus more. Kill Shot can only be used on enemies that have 20% or less health, so this is basically the hunter's version of Execute. There's also Call Stabled Pet. Choose one of your stabled pets to replace your current pet. The selected pet bursts out of its stable and joins you no matter where you are. Cannot be used in combat. So this is very nice, kind of a quality of life change, so you don't have to constantly be going back to the stables and switching your pets. And then there's a huge one, Deterrence. Previously a survival talent, now a baseline hunter ability, which has been dramatically improved. When activated, increases parry chance by 100%, reduces the chance ranged attacks will hit you by 100%, and grants a 100% chance to deflect spells. While Deterrence is active, you cannot attack, lasting 5 seconds. Very, very strong PvP ability, but also can help keep you alive in PvE. But it wasn't just hunters who received new spells. Hunter pets have gone through huge changes in Wrath. There's no more beast training skill. Instead, pets have all their abilities right when you tame them, so you don't have to worry about skilling them up as you level. In the place of the old beast training menu, pets now have their own extensive talent trees, and like hunters having 3 specializations, so too do your tamed beasts. The ferocity talent tree is used by beasts like cats, carrion birds, hyenas, raptors, and more. These animals dish out damage, but can't soak it up as well as other types of pets. The ferocious pet talent tree mainly focuses on boosting damage per second and is most suitable for PvE situations. The tenacity talent tree is used by bears, boars, turtles, scorpions, and more. These pets are more defensive in nature and can occupy an enemy's attention while you stay at range. The tenacity tree is designed for increasing your pet's survivability, threat generation, and damage mitigation, and is the natural tanking specialization for your pet. And last, the third talent tree is Cunning, used by beasts like bats, spiders, wind serpents, owls, and so many more. These pets are more balanced, having a mixture of offensive and defensive abilities, and are mainly suited for battlegrounds, arenas, and PvP situations. The Cunning tree is designed for increasing your pet's burst damage and even granting your pet a PvP trinket-like ability, making the Cunning talent tree the natural PvP specialization. Now, besides these new abilities, the talent changes are really what changed Hunter dramatically in Wrath. Changes in the Beast Mastery tree, such as Aspect Mastery, which is a passive which improves your aspects. Aspect of the Viper will now reduce the damage penalty by 10%. Aspect of the Monkey reduces the damage done to you while active by 5%. Aspect of the Hawk increases the attack power bonus by 30%. And Aspect of the Dragon Hawk combines the bonuses from Aspect of the Monkey and Hawk. Very, very very nice. There's also a new talent called Invigoration. When your pet scores a critical hit with a special ability, you have a 100% chance to instantly generate 1% mana, so very, very nice. There's also Longevity, which reduces the cooldown of your Bestial Wrath, Intimidation, and pet special abilities by 30%. This is a very exciting cooldown because pet special abilities are quite good in Wrath of the Lich King. There's also a new talent called Cobra Strikes. You have a 60% chance when you critically hit with Arcane Shot, Steady Shot, or Kill Shot to cause your pet's next 2 special attacks to critically hit. So very, very nice combo wombo with your pet there. It's also Kindred Spirits, which increases your pet's damage by 20% and you and your pet's movement speed by 10% while your pet is active. This does not stack with other movement increasing effects. So this is really cool. Obviously, just making your pet do more damage is very strong, but that nice movement speed bonus is always active, which is really cool. And of course, we have a talent called Beast Mastery. You master the art of beast training, teaching you the ability to tame exotic pets and increasing your total amount of pet skill points by 4. That's amazing. It's really an exciting new addition to Wrath of the Lich King Hunter Beast Mastery talent tree to be able to finally tame some of those strange pets that you always wanted to tame but couldn't, like, I don't know, devil soars or friggin', I don't know, pterodactyls, whatever pet you always wanted to tame, you can finally tame them in Wrath of the Lich King. So very, very exciting new talent. Now, but it wasn't only Beast Mastery which changed in Wrath. Marksmanship also received many new talents, such as Focused Aim, reduces the pushback suffered from damaging attacks while casting Steady Shot by 70%, and increases your chance to hit by 3%. That's just a solid ability, of course, potentially more PvP usage, or I guess PvE if you pulled aggro or something, but very nice to keep pumping out those steady shots consistently. Also, a new talent called Readiness. When activated, this ability immediately finishes the cooldown on your other hunter abilities except Bestial Wrath. This talent should be familiar. This actually was from the survival tree, but has been moved over to the marksmanship tree, which is a nice buff, I would say. Piercing Shots is another new talent in the marksmanship tree, causing your critical, aimed, steady, and chimera shots to cause the target to bleed for 30% of the damage dealt over 8 seconds. This is very, very nice. Obviously, there is a ton of different bleed effects in Wrath of the Lich King, so Hunter being able to provide the target to bleed. There's a lot of synergy with rogues and warriors and druids to all benefit from this bleeding. So very, very nice. Piercing Shots is a great addition. Also, Rapid Recuperation. You gain 4% of your mana every 3 seconds while under the effect of Rapid Fire, and you gain 2% of your mana every 2 seconds for 6 seconds when you gain Rapid Killing. This is basically just sustained talent, being able to keep your mana up while you're leveling or grinding or whatever you might be doing. Wild Quiver. This is actually a really cool talent. You have a 12% chance to shoot an additional shot when doing damage with your auto shot, dealing 80% weapon nature damage. Wild Quiver consumes no ammo. I mean, that's just so cool. Just having a chance to fire an additional shot out of nowhere. I just think that's the coolest thing. Very, very cool, fun talent, if you ask me. Another really cool talent is Improved Steady Shot. Your Steady Shot hits have a 15% chance to increase the damage done by your next aim shot, arcane shot, or chimera shot by 15%, and reduce the mana cost of your next aim shot, arcane shot, or chimera shot by 20%. More damage, less mana, all around good talent. There's also another talent called Marked for Death, which increases your damage done by your shots and the damage done by your pet's special abilities by 5% on marked targets, and increases the critical strike damage bonus of your aim shot, arcane shot, steady shot, kill shot, and chimera shot by 10%. Again, just another raw damage bonus talent. And finally, at the bottom of the marksmanship talent tree, we have Chimera Shot. You deal 125% weapon damage, refreshing the current sting on your target and triggering an effect. If you have Serpent Sting, it will instantly deal 40% of the damage done by your Serpent Sting. If you have Viper Sting, it will instantly restore mana to you equal to 60% of the total amount drained by your Viper Sting. And if you have Scorpion Sting on the target, it will attempt to disarm the target for 10 seconds. This effect cannot occur more than once per minute. So this is a very, very versatile shot that changes depending on the current sting on your target, which is very, very cool. And now, if you thought marksmanship changed a lot, let's talk about survival changes, because there were tons of changes, reworks, and literal complete overhauls to the entire survival talent tree. There's a new talent called improved tracking. While tracking beasts, demons, dragonkin, elementals, giants, humanoids, and undead, all damage done to those types by the hunter is increased by 5%, and this replaces monster/humanoid slaying. So depending on what tracking you're doing, you're going to be doing more damage to whatever you're tracking. Really, really cool. I think it makes total sense. Another cool talent in the survival tree is called TNT. Increases the damage done by your explosive shot, explosive trap, black arrow, and immolation trap by 6%. Just raw damage talent. I'll take it. There's also lock and load. You have a 100% chance when you trap a target with freezing trap, freezing arrow, or frost trap, and a 6% chance when you deal periodic damage with your immolation trap, explosive trap, or black arrow to cause your next 2 arcane shot or explosive shot spells to trigger, no cooldown, cost no mana, and consume no ammo. Awesome. This effect has a 22-second cooldown, so this is just really, really cool. Can be very, very powerful, honestly, to pump out tons of explosive shots, which we're going to get to that ability. It's quite strong. Another really cool talent in the survival tree is Hunter vs. Wild. Increases you and your pet's attack power and ranged attack power equal to 30% of your total stamina, which is pretty cool, considering the survival tree increases your stamina. There's also a cool talent called Noxious Stings. If Wyvern Sting is dispelled, the dispeller is also afflicted by Wyvern Sting lasting 50% of the duration remaining. That's insane. And increases all damage done by you on targets afflicted by your Serpent Sting by 3%. So this is clearly a PvP talent. If someone dispels your Wyvern Sting, they're basically taking the Wyvern Sting for 50% of the duration remaining, which is awesome. And obviously just doing 3% more damage all the time to targets with Serpent Sting is very, very nice as well. So really cool talent. There's also another cool one called Point of No Escape, which increases the critical strike chance of all of your attacks on targets affected by your frost trap, freezing trap, and freezing arrow by 6%. So 6% crit. I'll take it. Very nice. And then finally, we have a new spell in the survival talent tree called Black Arrow, which fires a black arrow at the target, increasing all damage done by you to the target by 6% and dealing shadow damage over 15 seconds. Black Arrow shares a cooldown with trap spells. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? But that 6% increased damage is amazing. Dealing that shadow damage is great. It's a nice boost to survival tree damage. So Black Arrow is very, very cool. Sniper Training is another new talent, which increases the critical strike chance of your kill shot ability by 15%, and while standing still for 6 seconds, you gain Sniper Training, increasing the damage done by your steady shot, aim shot, black arrow, and explosive shot by 6% for 15 seconds. More of a PvE talent, obviously, to be standing still, but that increased critical strike chance of kill shot by 15% is huge because that attack does 200% weapon damage. So, as you can imagine, if that crits, it will be a huge burst of damage. And another survival talent is Hunting Party. Increases your total agility by an additional 3%, and your arcane shot, explosive shot, and steady shot critical strikes have a 100% chance to grant up to 10 party or raid members mana regeneration equal to 1% of their maximum mana per 5 seconds for 15 seconds. This mana regeneration talent, lots of different classes have it, but it's very cool that the Hunter also has it. And then finally, at the bottom of the survival tree, we have the new survival shot called Explosive Shot. We've talked a little bit about this already. You fire an explosive charge into the enemy, dealing fire damage. The charge will blast the target every second for an additional 2 seconds. So this is very powerful. You're dealing fire damage for a total of 3 times instant fire damage, and then for 2 more seconds doing more fire damage every second. So this is very strong. Obviously, you can push back a lot of spells, do a lot of fire damage back to back. It's actually a very infamous ability for hunters, and it's very strong. Now, when it comes to PvP, Hunter is a great choice. The removal of the dead zone in TBC was a huge buff to hunters overall, and in Wrath, Hunter continues to be a powerful PvP class, excelling in open world PvP and battlegrounds, and even in arena with turtle cleaves. A hunter can deal damage, and a melee class can peel for the hunter, usually a warrior or a death knight, and it can be a surprisingly powerful team composition. With many new PvP focused talents and abilities, Hunter can do very well in PvP. Overall, Hunter is a great pick for Wrath of the Lich King. With loads of changes and powerful new abilities, hunters are reinvented in Wrath. They can PvE and PvP well, so there is no content that can't be accessed for a hunter. If you love the fantasy of being at home in the wilderness and having a special affinity for beasts, utilizing ranged weapons and traps, then there is no better class for you than the hunter.